You scroll through Instagram and see miracle before and after photos. Every review says it's life-changing, FDA approved. Sounds pretty perfect, right? Then you see the price tag, $3,000, and suddenly excitement turns into doubt, frustration, and a little hopelessness. Because if you're like me, you've tried acne treatments that promised you the world, and all they left you with were more breakouts and an emptier bank account. So before you spend thousands on AviClear, let's break down what it really does and whether it's actually worth it for your skin. And make sure to stick with me to the end because I'm going to show you something that might change everything. Hi, I'm Cheryl Woodman. I'm a scientist, acne expert, and award-winning skincare formulator, here to help you get back your clear, calm, confident skin. I know right now you're probably feeling desperate, exhausted, like you've tried everything and nothing works. And when you hear about a new FDA-approved treatment with miracle before and after photos, of course you want to believe it's the answer. I would too. I've been there. So let me give you the honest breakdown you deserve. The science, the reality, the things the marketing doesn't tell you, because you deserve to make an informed decision with your money and your skin. So first, let's talk about what AviClear actually is. AviClear is a laser treatment for acne, not a cream, not a pill, a laser. And if you've never really understood how lasers work for skin, here's the simple version. Lasers are beams of incredibly intense, super focused energy. It's like what happened in the walkie-talkie building. I wonder if you heard about it. There's this famous building in London called the walkie-talkie building. It looks like this. It's super tall and it has areas of curved glass. Well, before it was even finished, it caused a death ray to melt a car, give people extreme sunburn, and set a carpet on fire. A death ray that could have technically killed someone. It all happened because of that curved area of glass concentrating the sunlight into one extremely hot death ray that reached 90 degrees Celsius. You could be walking about in the sunlight that day and it's all totally fine. Your body is loving the vitamin D hit, but when all that sunlight gets concentrated, the energy gets super intense. That is how lasers work. And depending on the type of laser and the energy level it uses, it can do different things to your skin. Some lasers create tiny micro damage that stimulates collagen production for anti-aging. Other lasers create bigger damage. They can actually kill cells in your skin. And that's what AviClear does. AviClear kills and damages the oil-making glands in your skin. In science, we call your skin's natural oil sebum. And it's made by cells called sebocytes. These are the glands that produce all that oil you see when you look in the mirror. And here's why killing them can help with acne. Acne bacteria absolutely thrive in oil. They feed on it, they multiply in it. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet. So when AviClear kills off these oil-making glands, you're essentially shutting down the buffet. The acne bacteria start to starve, they die off, and your breakouts reduce. That's the basic mechanism. Kill the oil glands, starve the bacteria, clear the skin. Sounds pretty good, right? But hold that thought, because there's a lot more to this story. Let me show you what makes AviClear different from other laser treatments. AviClear uses a very specific wavelength, 1726 nanometers. You can think of wavelengths like different types of shoes. So different wavelengths are fit for different tasks in your skin. After all, you wouldn't wear high heels to run a marathon, right? And at 1726 nanometers, something really interesting happens. Look at this graph. The red line is sebum, your skin's oil. The blue line is water, and you have a lot of water in your skin. Up the left, we have the amount of light that's absorbed by each. And you see that crossover point? That is where the red line goes above the blue line. That means that this specific wavelength, your sebum absorbs way more laser energy than the water in your skin does. This is brilliant because it means the laser can somewhat selectively target your oil glands without completely frying the rest of your skin. It's like being able to talk to just one person in a crowded room by calling their mobile phone or their walkie-talkie. That's what this 1726 nanometer wavelength is doing, specifically targeting oil glands, calling them up and telling them to go away. And yes, you do feel heat during the treatment. That's why AviClear uses a cooling tip to counteract it. But the selective targeting means less overall damage to your skin. Pretty neat science. So hit follow if you're thinking, finally, someone who actually explains an acne treatment instead of just telling me to blindly follow a celebrity skincare routine or take a probiotic or wash my face more. Because here's the thing, the science is legit, but that doesn't automatically mean it's the right choice for you. So does AviClear actually work? I've got two answers for you, the black and white answer and the real world answer. First, the black and white answer. Yes, for many people, AviClear does reduce acne. Here's the results from a clinical trial that tracked 17 acne patients between ages 18 to 36. The grey bars on this graph are before using AviClear, so you can see here that between these 17 acne patients, before any of them had an AviClear treatment, there were a total of 248 acne lesions. The blue line is then 4 weeks after treatment, and the orange is 12 weeks after. This is an impressive 50% reduction in inflammatory acne breakouts. That is significant. So if you're asking, does it work to reduce acne? The answer is yes, temporarily. The data supports it. The before and afters are real. But now here's my real world answer, and this is where things get complicated. Because yes, AviClear can reduce your acne, but here's what it's not doing. It's not healing the reason why your skin is making excess oil in the first place. Right now, your oil glands are producing too much sebum for a reason. There are extremely well proven biological triggers that cause your oil-making glands to go into overdrive. Certain hormones, certain foods, for example, can power up your oil production like rocket fuel. This is what I talk my students through inside my step-by-step acne warrior program. How to identify what's making their skin so oily and how to calm that oil production naturally so acne disappears. Because this is my fundamental issue with treatments like AviClear. It's shutting down your body's communication system. Because acne isn't random. Acne is your body trying to tell you something. With every breakout, your body is desperately trying to get your attention. It's saying, hey, something's wrong. There's an imbalance here that needs fixing. And treatments like AviClear, well, they put duct tape on that cry for help. Your body is still screaming, the imbalances are still there, but you can't hear it anymore because you've temporarily shut down the oil glands that were showing you the symptoms. And here's why that's dangerous. The same biological imbalances that cause acne are also linked to PCOS, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, even Alzheimer's disease. So when you take a treatment like AviClear, yes, you might clear your skin, but you're also, one, covering up the root causes without fixing them. Secondly, allowing these imbalances to continue damaging your body without any visible warning signs. 3, setting yourself up for potentially worse acne in the future because eventually these oil glands will regenerate and come back online. And 4, potentially increasing your risk for serious long-term health conditions because those underlying hormonal and metabolic imbalances are still there, silently doing damage. So let me say that again. AviClear is not a permanent cure. Eventually, your sebum glands can regenerate and boot back up. So you spent $2,000, $3,000 for a temporary suppression of symptoms, not a healing, a suppression. Drop me a comment if this is making you rethink everything. This is even more important to answer if you suspect you have hormonal acne, because yes, AviClear can temporarily clear hormonal acne. Here's why. Certain hormones like androgens, for example, can turn up the volume on your oil-making glands. They're basically telling your sebocytes, hey, make more oil, more. And when you use AviClear to kill those oil glands, even though testosterone is screaming at them to produce more sebum, they can't. They're damaged. They've got earmuffs on. So yes, your skin might clear, but AviClear does not treat balance or heal the underlying hormonal imbalances that are causing your acne. Your hormones are still out of whack, you just can't see it in your skin anymore. And for many women, those hormone imbalances show up in other ways: painful period cramps, heavy bleeding, severe PMS, mood swings, anxiety, poor sleep, brain fog, low energy. All of these are signs your hormones need support, and shutting down your oil glands doesn't fix any of it. So what is the alternative? Here's what happens when you actually heal the root causes of your acne instead of just suppressing the symptoms. The women I work with inside my Acne Warrior program tell me that after healing their acne naturally, they're not just clear, they feel amazing. They tell me their period cramps are gone, that their periods aren't heavy anymore. They don't have to double up with a pad and a tampon. That PMS has disappeared and their mood is balanced and calm. Their sleep quality has skyrocketed. They're actually waking up rested for the first time in years. Their energy levels are high and consistent throughout the day. Their brain fog has lifted. Isn't that incredible? And here's the thing, when you heal the root cause of your acne, this is your skin for life. It's permanent healing, not a temporary suppression. You're not spending $3,000 every few years when your oil glands regenerate. You're not wondering when the acne will come back. You've actually fixed the underlying imbalances. Your body isn't screaming at you anymore because you've listened and given it what it needs. And there's no point getting clear skin if you don't feel great on the inside too. So here's my bottom line review of AviClear. Can it work to reduce acne? Yes. The science is solid, the clinical results are real. Is it worth $2,000 to $3,000? That depends on what you're looking for. If you want a quick fix that lasts a few months or a year or so, and you're willing to ignore the underlying health issues your body is trying to communicate, maybe. But if you want permanent healing, balanced hormones, to feel amazing in your body, to reduce your risk of serious long-term health conditions, to never have to wonder, when will it come back again? Then no, I can't in good conscience recommend AviClear, because you deserve better than a band-aid that costs $3,000. You deserve actual healing. And your doctor might try to tell you that actual healing to balance those hormones causing your skin to make more oil, well, that looks like taking the pill. And before you consider this, I need you to know the pill is not a cure for acne, and well, I'll tell you more inside this next video I'm linking up for you below and here. I'll see you in the next video.